Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. My name is Darren, this is AJ, and this is the DnA Sports Recap. So first of all, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the Sports Recap. Again, if you are listening to this on a podcast, we would love a review to let us know how we're doing. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and do all the YouTube things down below. Comment, share, subscribe,
all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. All the good UB2B stuff. So, but yeah, so first of all, there's a few things going on. Obviously, we're in Super Bowl week this week.
Super Bowl week.
And remind me, who's playing again?
Oh, can't remember. I believe it's that team from Philadelphia.
Okay.
They're okay. And then there's also that team from Kansas City who's got that okay quarterback.
Yeah, I heard some good things about him. Mm-hmm. Heard some good things about him. Interesting hair.
Interesting. You can't beat that hair, man.
Yeah.
That hair's got fluff. It's got life.
Fluff.
You can do whatever you want with that hair.
Yeah.
I would kill to have that hair.
Yeah. I think it's the second best NFL hair there is.
Who's your number one? If Patrick Mahomes is 2, who's your number 1?
Polamalu, of course.
Okay, you're going all-time hair.
Yeah, all-time hair.
So active, he's number 1 for sure.
Yes, active, he's number 1.
Active, he's number 1.
Active, he's number 1. And then Troy Polamalu, I think I'm saying his name right, last name right, but I think he's number 2 for sure.
Okay.
I don't think he's number 2. I think he has the second. I think he has the best hair of all time.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Polamalu, for sure.
Polamalu, for sure.
I'm with you.
All right.
I second that opinion.
All right, perfect. Yeah, we're agreeing already. That's going to make for a really boring show.
It's going to be really boring.
The Kyrie Erving trade just went down.
Kyrie Erving trade.
Yeah,
well,
lasted about 24 hours ago.
Yeah, 24 hours. But did you see that all of a sudden now a bunch of teams are trying to jump in and make it a 3-team?
Okay, so let's talk about the trade as it sits right now.
As it sits.
Okay, so right now the trade is, according to our source, NBA.com, Kyrie Erving, Markieff Morris for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2027 pick, a 2029 second-round pick, and a 2029 first-round unprotected pick. So
wow, that is quite the haul.
That is
Kyrie Erving.
That is, but honestly, it's not nearly as much as like the Donovan Mitchell trade or the Rudy Gobert trade or even the James Harden trade.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not a groundbreaking trade for sure.
Yeah,
I mean as far as total landslide, but I mean Kyrie Erving was a number 1 overall draft pick, 2011. You know what I mean? Like,
fair.
This guy can ball, but where has he proved that he can do anything more than only win with superstars?
Well, that's a very good point. There's a lot of people who said there's a lot of people out there that say that the only chance he has is if he is the superstar on the team.
I totally agree. I mean, I think that's literally the only choice he has is if he's a superstar because you know, kind of like I mentioned to you yesterday, there's only one basketball on the court at any given time.
Love
you know
that.
what I mean?
That's,
like,
yeah.
You're going to send him to Dallas and try to take the ball out of the hands of a guy like Luka Doncic. Why would you ever do that? Well, the dude's a stone cold killer. He's not scared of the big moment. I mean, he's what, 6'10". He can score from anywhere on the court, all 3 levels. I mean, he can pass the ball, he can rebound the ball. Luka can do everything. I don't see how Kyrie actually complements him and makes him a better player. And taking the ball out of Luka's hands anytime is a bad idea.
I agree. There are rumors that other sources are trying to get in on the trade, right? So we know that this trade is between Dallas and Brooklyn straight up for 2 players in Kyrie and Markieff Morris for basically 2, I would say, crucial role players, 2 second-round draft picks, and 1 unprotected first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
So give or take where Dallas is going to be in that scenario. Or no, wait. Yeah, Dallas is getting their draft pick.
Dallas is getting those picks, yeah. So how do the Nets look? I mean, honestly, by 27, 29, it's pretty unlikely Kevin Durant's still there. I would say
true.
Chances are Brooklyn's entered a full rebuild. Those could turn out to be some pretty good picks.
The reason why I think that Dallas got worse, I said Dallas got worse on defense because, that's literally like what you mentioned before when we were chatting, is that what Dallas gave up was role players. Yeah. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, who is a on-ball scorer, the only one they have that isn't named Luka.
Absolutely.
So they just got rid of him.
Yeah.
So, and then they also, Dorian Finney-Smith, he's got some good length, he's got some good reach. I think his defensive metrics were okay. They weren't like above average, but they weren't.
He's a catch and shoot ball player, though. I mean, he's going to sit out the wing, space the floor, which is, I mean, that's what a lot of teams are looking for these days, realistically.
Markieff Morris might be the reason why his name's in that big to kind of make up for that lack of defense, but that really kind of slows down the offense a little bit.
I think Markieff Morris is they're supposed to be these, the Morris brothers are supposed to be these tough-nosed defenders.
Hard take. Yeah. Hard take coming in right here.
But I mean, they're like any other NBA player. They're not looking to fight.
Yeah.
They're looking to get out there and play basketball. And, I mean, they're both on the tail ends of their careers, realistically.
Yeah. Right now, Dallas is the best offensive team in basketball with Luka on the floor.
Absolutely.
When Luka is off the floor, they are the worst offensive team.
I didn't think about it that way.
So, by simply making sure that whenever Luka's not on the floor, Kyrie is, you kind of take care of that problem.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, Kyrie's playing, like right now, his minutes are at an all-time high. He's like in the very top of the league in minutes played right now.
Yep. I believe his usage is second only to, no wait, that's Luka. Luka is second only to another MVP. Not Luka is, I'm just saying that, putting that in the universe. Giannis. Second only to Giannis.
Second only to Giannis, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, with his minutes already being sky high, that's pretty easy to pull him out, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, Luka's got a ton of usage too, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Luka's up there, man. He's on the floor a lot for those guys. That's the only reason they're even still in the playoff races because of Luka.
Yep, Luka is the number 2 used, has the number 2 usage rate next to Giannis, and then Kyrie Erving has the 8th most on usage. So
yeah, so he's up there for sure.
He's up there too.
Yeah.
I don't know how many players there are in the league, but there's a lot of them, and 8 is still pretty high.
8 is still very high.
Yeah. So, was the price too high? Do you think that was? Do you think the draft capital that they got for him, the players they got for him?
No, I don't. I mean, like you said, I don't even think that was that great of a haul compared to what Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert turned over the summer. Like,
yeah, well, the two things behind that is going to be team control. Like, you only have him for
1 year.
Yeah, you only have him for essentially 3 months.
Yeah.
You got a 3-month rental and hopefully a playoff run out of him.
Yeah, all in for 3 months.
So, and hoping that he's going to re-sign with you if you offer him a max contract.
Yeah.
Which they better be prepared to do because they just traded away. Here's the reason why I think the price is too high. Okay? Look at the 2025 free agent class. So by doing this draft, right, they're going all in on him.
Absolutely.
On Kyrie,
yeah.
Right? And if by doing that, you can make the assumption that they're going to offer him a max contract or close to it in free agency.
Yeah.
So here is what you're going to potentially be missing out on in 2025 because you have to pay Luka, you have to pay Kyrie. You have Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, Ben Simmons, Drew Holiday, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, Jamal Murray, Chris Paul, and some of these other ones are starting to fall off. But yeah, that's the 2025 free agent class. By committing and tying your boat to Kyrie at this point, you're basically taking your name off of the top 25 names on this list.
But maybe that's exactly why they only want Kyrie at this point. Maybe they wanted him before the Nets get a chance to re-sign him. You know what I mean? And then they're locked into a long-term contract. At this point, they only get the 1 year rental. They have the option to try to re-sign him. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it doesn't work out, you know what I mean? And it's a complete, an utter train wreck. Mm-hmm. And they just part ways with Kyrie because he's an unrestricted free agent. And they can look at one of these big names, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, at that point, though, how long is Luka going to stick around? So I think Dallas front office has done enough to prove that they are willing to go in on players to get him a co-star to run with and try and find the best fit. Porzingis was a good example of that. And now with Kyrie, they're trying to match him with somebody. But at what point does he just say, okay, that's it, I'm out, I demand a trade?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's funny because I don't see Luka being that kind of player. I think he sticks. I don't know if I see him going out there to try to chase another superstar. I think Luka probably feels pretty confident he can do it with a decent set of a decent supporting cast. I wonder how much Luka even had to say with getting Kyrie Erving. it's funny because I'd like to hear what his opinion is. Like, is this what you wanted, Luka?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is this what you wanted? As a ball dominant guard to come in and get the ball out of your hands a few more times a game?
If they sign Kyrie Erving to a max extension now, I mean, if it's anything, I mean, we're watching these salaries right now. I mean, Jalen Brunson, great guard, right? Great point guard, really good at distributing the ball. Is he worth a $100 million contract for 4 or 5 years?
Not a chance.
You know, but that's what these salaries are going to. So you think they sign? Yeah, you think they sign Kyrie to that contract, knowing that these kind of numbers, $48 million, $45 million, is what going to be the average going rate for a perennial all-star.
I mean, realistically, by the time we're in 2028 or 2027 when that contract expires, you probably got Luka on a steal at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you got Rudy Gobert making almost $40 million a year, and he didn't even take a maximum contract.
Nope.
I mean, he negotiated. The Jazz negotiated that down.
Yeah, they got him down, which is insane to think about. Again, I hate to change sports on us here, but that's a perfect example of in baseball right now, there are Shohei Ohtani, right, the two-way star in Anaheim. They're saying he's going to be the first American professional athlete to pull in $500 million on his next contract. That makes that Giancarlo Stanton contract from like 5 years ago look like chump change. We're like, you're paying him almost $30 million a year.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, yeah, I mean, Bryce Harper's making 40-something million a year now, so.
What's funny, though, is that $40 million a year in baseball and $40 million a year in basketball. I mean, basketball plays 82, baseball plays what, 182?
162.
162, so that's quite a difference per game average there to play baseball versus to play basketball.
It's true, it's true. Yeah, but anyway, so to wrap up the Kyrie Erving trade, what's the purpose behind this trade if you're Dallas?
Dallas, you're looking for. I think you nailed it, dude. I think you're looking for a scorer that can come onto the floor when Luka's not there, get to the rack, keep him in the game so he can get, while Luka can get a breather and get back out there to keep doing Luka things. Yeah.
Like he goes out when they're up by 8, gets a sip of Gatorade, comes back, they're down by 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a perfect point. And actually to your point too, when it comes to the value of, you're really not, that's not a lot to give up to see if it will work with Kyrie. Because let's face it, Kyrie is not just the basketball player. He's played in less than 2 seasons with both of his last 2 teams for a 4-year contract with each team. So,
and not to mention with Kyrie, you get so much of the off the court stuff with his strange comments and that's all stuff that you're going to have to deal with when you have Kyrie Erving on your team. And he's a great basketball player, but he can also be a distraction. And I don't think Dallas needs any more distractions right now. They've got to get their head down and make a push for the playoffs. So they're going to be playing in the play-in tournament, just to have a chance. And at that point, if you're playing in a play-in and you take a loss, now all of a sudden does it feel worth it to just give up, some pretty critical pieces like Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then those draft picks. Like, wow, that was a really short-term rental and quite a haul for. Is Kyrie going to be happy enough to even consider staying? Yeah,
I think this is a push to the chips in the middle for Dallas.
Yeah,
I really think it is, and I really think it's an audition for Kyrie to prove he's worth a next contract. So I think he'll play nice. I think that they will do well. Right now, there are 3 games separating the 3rd place versus the 10th place.
I just barely looked and realized. I didn't realize it was that close in the Western Conference.
You think Kyrie's worth a couple games? And then all of a sudden, boom! Now you got home court advantage for the first round of the playoffs. So we got more coming up on the trade deadline. I believe Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
5 p.m. Eastern time
is the cutoff for that. So we'll see what happens between now and then. Let's see if they can wrap in a 3rd team or what have you there. So once again, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us on this DnA Sports Recap podcast. Appreciate the time, and until next time.